My name is Mrs. Jagger. The book I'm going to tell you about today is Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson. Here's what the book says about itself. I am learning to speak, to give myself a way out, a way in. An inspiring and powerful story of a girl who believes she must get out of her poor neighborhood if she's ever going to succeed. Jade's mother tells her to take advantage of every opportunity that comes her way. Every day she rides the bus away from her friends and to the private school where she feels like an outsider, but where she has plenty of opportunities. But Woman to Woman, a mentorship program she joins on the promise of a scholarship, makes her feel tired of being singled out as someone who needs support, someone people want to fix. Jade wants to speak, to create, to express her joys and sorrows, her pain and her hope. Maybe there are some things she could show other women about understanding the world and finding opportunities to be real, to make a difference. Be bold, be brave, be beautiful, be brilliant. Be your best. This book is about Jade finding herself in ways she doesn't realize will work. I'm going to read a passage from page 22 for you today. Lily comes over after school, and over bowls of mint chocolate chip ice cream, we swap stories about our very first day. Before we can get good into our conversation, EJ comes home, smelling up the whole living room with his cologne. He joins us at the kitchen table, but not before grabbing a spoon from the dish rack and helping himself to my bowl. I give him the meanest look I can muster. I mean, you can't share with your favorite uncle, he says. Get your own. I point to the freezer and move my bowl closer to me. He laughs, goes into the living room, and puts his headphones on and starts bobbing his head. Okay, what were you saying? I asked Lily. She is laughing at the two of us and shaking her head. I was just saying how much I like my history teacher. She's my favorite already, Lily tells me. Why? I asked. She's all about teaching stuff we don't necessarily learn in our textbook. Like today we learned about York, the black slave who traveled with Lewis and Clark. A black person was part of the Lewis and Clark expedition? Really? Lily tells me. My teacher says he was just as important as Lewis and Clark. She reaches into her backpack and pulls out a worksheet and hands it to me. A picture of York is front and center. He looks strong and confident. He looks so regular, like he wasn't a slave, like he wasn't treated like less than anyone else. Lily says, my teacher told us that York and Sacagawea helped during the expedition. She said Sacagawea helped to translate and that she was very knowledgeable about the land and could tell which plants were edible and which ones could be used for medicine. What did York do? I asked. Miss Phillips said he was a good hunter and he set up the tents and managed the sails. Once he even saved Clark from drowning. Lily scrapes the bowl and eats the last morsels of melted ice cream. When they needed to decide on where to go next or how to handle a challenge, York got to vote. Sacagawea too. The first time a black man and a woman were ever given that privilege. I picked this passage because it shows Jane's relationship with Lily and her uncle in a little normal conversation in the book. I think people who have strong goals should read this book because Jane's goals develop over the story as she evolves and figures out who she is. Thank you.